So look, we all know going to prison can be detrimental to your health. It can be extremely dangerous and volatile. It could pop off at any given moment. You could be the type of person that says, you know what, here I am. I made a mistake. I'm in prison. I'm going to walk the straight and narrow. I'm going to work on me. I'm going to study. I'm going to stay away from all the BS. I'm not going to get involved in drugs. I'm not going to gamble. I'm not going to be in the boy game. If you don't know what the boy game is, I'm talking about homosexuality. And why do I bring that up? Because a lot of fights pop off because of boys. I'm not going to be involved in a gang. I'm not going to be robbing people, extorting people. None of the above, because I don't want to be caught up in the mix. I'm going to strictly focus on doing my time, working out, staying away from everybody, minding my business, staying in my lane, all that, right? Well, guess what? Even people that walk that walk, that live that life, even them, they get caught up and become a victim of circumstance. I'm talking about an innocent bystander. Might pop off at any given moment. You don't know who's around you. You don't know what the guy beside you has been dealing with, what type of mental insufficiencies this fool's got. You just don't know. You might think you know a person. You might be riding with a clique. You might have a bunch of homeboys, blah, 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 all that, whatever. It doesn't matter, especially in the state of Florida, because it is like the wild, wild west. Yeah, there's a bunch of gang activity. There's a bunch of cliques. There's a bunch of people that are from different areas. Hey, what's up, home team? They ride together. But it still don't matter. There's some freaking psychopaths up in here that will do anything to you at any given moment. And we all know about, look, you've seen the knives, big dumb machete type knives. I'm talking about where they break railing off of a bunk. Big long piece of metal, sharpen it into a knife. The rigid, ragged knife, in fact. So that when it cuts you, it doesn't just cut and come right back out. It's tearing you. It's just, oh man, it's obliterating you. We've seen that. You've seen where they take the fence apart and they make a poker. It's like an ice pick. You've seen it where they take razor blades, take the razor apart, tape the razors to their finger, boom, hit you across the face. They call it a $1.50. We've seen all that, right? Take pencils, sharpen them up, poke people with them, break the pencil off in them. You've heard about it where they jam a pencil into a man's ear when he's asleep. It's a brutal place. It's dog eat dog. It's pure, vicious, just madhouse in prison all the time. Now, granted, you can do your time and not be a victim of circumstances. But if you get involved in some stuff, you want to be a tough guy. You might be involved in some gang stuff or any of the things that I mentioned a minute ago. You can believe one thing, you just upped your chances to get into some shit. The type of shit that you might just find your face just rolling off of your body, where you're completely defenseless and helpless to do anything about it. So you're probably wondering, how in the hell does that happen? Well, outside of all the weapons that I just told you about, one of the most gruesome, brutal weapons that you've ever heard about is this: water. Not just plain water either. Water, grease. They sell hair grease on Canteen, Vaseline. It's a type of grease, right? They sell it on the Canteen. And then some heat. And obviously you're going to need a cup. Now, how does this work? You take this grease, you put some of it in the cup, like a spoonful. If you really want to do them up, put a couple spoons. And you put some water in there. Well, if you got a cup like this, you want to heat the water up prior to putting it in a cup. Now, the one time that I seen this happen, while I was in the chow hall, that ain't out. The guy didn't heat it up in a cup. He heated it up in a pan on the stove. He got that shit super hot. But if you're in the dorm, people can heat water up. And I'm not talking about just heating up the type of water where you're going to cook a soup, because you can get that out of the faucet. I'm talking about the type that you're going to use a stinger, or if they have access to a microwave, something that's going to make the water boil. So they heat the water up, right? Put it off in the cup with the grease. Go to mixing it up. Mix it, mix it, mix it. You don't want to fill it all the way up either when you're mixing it, because it's going to cool down a little bit. So what they're going to do is pour some of that boiling water, about this much, off in the cup. Mix it all up where it's good and mixed up. Then they're going to get some new fresh boiling water. Pour it off in there. So you got a good, hot, fresh cup of just straight boiling, greasy water. And look, a lot of people been murdered a lot of ways in prison. Whether it's just straight up fighting, man slips, hits his head, somebody bams the dude, breaks his neck, all the weapons that I mentioned, the stabbings, people overdosing on drugs. There's a ton of ways that people get killed. Police beat people to death. People have tried to escape, get caught up in the fence, get shot off the fence. It's an endless array of ways. But this is the one way that when you get hit with that greasy water that's boiling, this man would have the type of scream. When you hear it, I mean, it literally just makes your toes curl. You just feel it on the inside of your body. You're just like, oh my, what just happened? It's the type of scream that when a mama hears it, she'd be like, oh, my baby. And then when she sees the aftermath, she's like, oh, you are not my baby no more. I mean, it's the type of, this aftermath, what happens? You know, they say somebody's so ugly that only a mama could love him. This dude's so ugly that even now his mama couldn't love him. It's brutal. So once they get that water, and this is what happened the day, and let me tell you what happened in the chow hall that day. The dude that got hit, he's been working in the chow hall for a long time, and he's always trying to put down, he's always trying to boss the back end of the chow hall around as far as like all the other workers. Dude wants some peanut butter. Dude wants to get some oatmeal. He wants to get a little extra chicken. Everybody got to go ask this guy. And if you ain't doing something for him, you ain't making him feel good, you ain't kissing his ass, he's going to say no. And then if you go get it without his permission and he finds out, guess what he's doing? He's telling on people. Off top. That's what it is, right? Finally, these dudes got tired of it. And well, this one dude, he got tired of it. He said, I had enough of this. And he went and made that boiling water on that stove with that grease in it. Man, all I heard in the chow hall was a bunch of pots and pans just clattering everywhere. Ting, ting, ting. And you're just automatically, you're like, oh, whoa, what's going on here? And you hear this scream that's just coming like from the pit of a man's stomach, like way deep down in his stomach. It's just got you like, what is happening back there? Are the police back here killing a man? It's that type of scream, because I've heard the police just stomp a man to death. And the scream coming from that guy is just like this type of agony that you never want to hear again. That's what I was hearing. And I'm like, man, what the hell is going on back here? And then you see this man come out of he's trying to get the hell away from there. He's trying to exit immediately. He's trying to go. It ain't killing. But listen, it's the type that when this happens, it makes you wish you were dead. Because you got to deal with this aftermath for the rest of your life. And it's the main portion that everybody looks at, your face. When this man came from the back of that kitchen, he was a black dude, dark-skinned black dude. When he came out, this man's face was no longer black. I'm talking about it's just white. His face is just not white like me, white like this. And pink. White and pink. The rest of his body's still black. His face, white and pink. His arms got burned up. Oh my God. And as he's coming out of there, he's trying to run out of the kitchen. He can barely run, but he's trying because his adrenaline done kicked in. And as he's coming out of there, you just see the skin is just melting. It's continuously melting, and it's just dripping off of his face. I'm like, what in the? Sheesh, shut the front door. Buddy just got done up. Damn, he should have gave that dude some chicken. Real talk, man. So this by far is one of the most gruesome, brutal attacks that I've ever seen. I mean, I have woken up, the screams of a man waking me up while I was in my bunk, sleeping, to a man screaming, don't kill me, bro. And he's actually calling the guy bro that's hitting him with the broomstick over his back, and his whole back is just covered in blood. And he's screaming, don't kill me, bro, don't kill me. Listen, that was gruesome. But this is way a whole nother level, another stratosphere, another planet, another universe type of gruesome. Unlike anything that I have ever seen, heard, or experienced. I'm telling you.